Have you ever looked at your boss, a politician, or some random leader on the news and thought, how the hell did that person end up in charge? You're not crazy for asking. History is full of fools sitting on thrones while smarter, more capable people quietly take orders. Somehow, the loudest, most overconfident, least competent people keep climbing the ladder, and the rest of us are left wondering if the world secretly rewards stupidity. Welcome to Gaka Mindset, where we pull apart the uncomfortable truths most people are too polite to say out loud. Today, we're diving into a brutal reality. In the game of power, being smart can actually hold you back. Because the system doesn't choose the best, it chooses the boldest. It rewards the confident, the loud, and the shameless. It's a strange, infuriating pattern that repeats from corporate boardrooms to the highest offices in the world. But it's not random. There's a hidden logic behind it, one that goes all the way back to a man named Machiavelli, who understood exactly why the foolish rise and the wise fall. Stick around, because once you understand this, you'll never see power or the people who hold it the same way again. If this kind of truth hits you, make sure to subscribe to Gaka Mindset so we can keep exposing how the world really works and help you navigate it smarter than everyone else. Why smart people struggle to gain power. Smart people often lose the game of power before it even starts, not because they lack skill, but because they see too much. They see the gray in everything, the trade-offs, the nuance, the complications, while the world rewards people who shout in black and white. A smart person walks into a meeting and says, "This might work, but we should test it." The confident fool says, "This will work. Trust me." Guess who gets promoted? We like certainty more than truth. It feels safer. It feels like leadership. That's why, in almost every company, the people who rise aren't always the ones who know the most, but the ones who sound the most sure of themselves. Studies have even found that intelligence helps leadership only up to a certain point. Beyond that, being too smart actually becomes a disadvantage. When you think too deeply, you lose the room. You explain when others just want a headline. You question when others want a hero. You've seen it before. The quiet genius in the office who keeps getting ignored, while the overconfident talker somehow becomes team lead. Or that politician who makes impossible promises with a perfect smile and still gets millions of votes. The world isn't built to reward wisdom. It's built to reward conviction. But here's the twisted irony. Those who doubt themselves are often the ones who should be in charge. Real intelligence comes with awareness. Awareness of limits, of risks, of what could go wrong. Yet in a society addicted to certainty, hesitation looks like weakness, and arrogance looks like strength. So the smart ones stay cautious. The loud ones stay visible. And slowly, the world starts mistaking noise for competence. It's not that intelligent people can't lead. They just play a game where thoughtfulness gets mistaken for fear. Machiavelli saw this centuries ago. Perception beats reality, and power doesn't care who's right. It only cares who looks right. And once you realize that, the next time you see someone confidently wrong getting ahead, you'll understand they're not smarter. They're just playing a game most people don't even know exists. The Dunning-Kruger effect. When confidence beats competence. Confidence is a hell of a drug. It can make people follow you, fund you, and trust you, even when you have no idea what you're talking about. We see it every day. The coworker who talks over everyone and somehow sounds like a genius. The CEO who promises the moon and delivers dust. The politician who says everything with total conviction and zero evidence. That's not talent. It's psychology. Think about Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of Theranos. She convinced billionaires, investors, and even former US Secretaries of State that her blood testing tech could change the world. It never worked. But her unwavering confidence, the black turtleneck, the deep voice, the vision, made people believe she was the next Steve Jobs. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in action. That's how powerful perception can be. It can sell the illusion of competence longer than competence itself. Or look at Adam Neumann from WeWork. He promised to revolutionize the way people work and got billions in funding without ever making a profit. Investors didn't buy his numbers. They bought his certainty. That's how confidence becomes currency. There's a name for this: the Dunning-Kruger effect. It means people who know the least often think they know the most. They don't see their own limits, so they walk into every situation with blind confidence. And that confidence is magnetic. It makes others believe they're capable, even when they're not. Meanwhile, the real experts, the ones who actually understand the problem, tend to hesitate. They know how much they don't know. In a world that equates confidence with competence, this creates a brutal imbalance. The fools sound fearless, the smart ones sound unsure. And when people have to choose between the two, they go with the one who sounds certain. We crave clarity, even if it's fake. We crave leaders who act like they have all the answers, even if those answers are nonsense. It's the same reason some of the biggest corporate disasters were led by people who looked unstoppable right up until the crash. Think about the founders who raised billions on hype alone, or the managers who made disastrous calls because they refused to admit they might be wrong. They weren't smarter, they were louder. What's scary is that this overconfidence doesn't just fool others, it fools themselves. They believe their own myth, and because they believe it so completely, they pull others into their orbit. It's not intelligence that gets them followers, it's certainty. But here's the catch: confidence without competence can only go so far. Eventually, reality shows up. The product fails. The plan collapses. The people who trusted them get burned. And by then, the confident fool has already moved on to the next big thing, ready to sell the same illusion somewhere else. So next time you see someone rise fast just because they sound sure of themselves, remember this: being loud doesn't make you right. It just makes you convincing. And in a world obsessed with appearances, sometimes that's all it takes. Power never stays in one pair of hands for long. Once the wrong person gets it, they build a wall around themselves made of weaker people, people who will never threaten their throne. Machiavelli saw it centuries ago. If you want to judge a ruler's intelligence, look at the people standing next to him. Strong leaders hire strength. Insecure ones surround themselves with puppets. You've probably seen this play out in real life. A boss who fires the one employee brave enough to disagree. A manager who promotes the yes men instead of the ones who actually fix problems. A politician who fills every position with loyal friends instead of qualified experts. It's not bad luck, it's strategy. The incompetent don't fear failure as much as they fear exposure. We've seen this in real life. After the Boeing 737 MAX crisis, multiple investigations reported that internal warnings about safety concerns were ignored. It wasn't that the engineers didn't know. The system just didn't want to listen. Incompetence often protects itself by silencing competence. The Enron collapse showed the same pattern. The company's culture discouraged questioning and rewarded loyalty over honesty. When truth becomes a threat to power, even intelligent organizations start to decay from the inside. This is how entire companies rot from the inside. The people at the top don't want talent, they want obedience. Anyone who asks questions gets labeled negative. Anyone who points out mistakes gets called disloyal. The result is a silent room full of people who all secretly know things are going wrong but smile anyway. It's not just a workplace problem. It's how entire systems collapse. When the only goal becomes keeping the boss comfortable, truth stops mattering, and it spreads. Once a weak leader installs weaker followers, each of those followers does the same. It's like cloning incompetence. Every new layer of management is a little less capable, a little more afraid, a little more desperate to protect their tiny piece of fake power. Before long, the whole organization is running on fear and flattery instead of skill and honesty. If you've ever sat in a meeting where nobody dares to challenge a terrible idea, you've seen this disease in action. It's not that people don't know better. They just know the cost of being right is higher than the reward. That's how mediocrity becomes culture. Machiavelli would call it what it is: survival through weakness. Bad leaders don't last because they're strong. They last because they make everyone else weaker. And that's the real danger. Because once fear replaces competence, the system stops correcting itself. It doesn't need enemies to fall apart. It crumbles from within, one cowardly decision at a time. Why do we keep choosing them? Why do we keep falling for the same kind of leader? The one who talks big, promises everything, and acts like they have all the answers. Because deep down, we crave certainty more than we crave truth. When life feels complicated and the world is a mess, the person who speaks in simple, confident sentences feels like a life raft. I alone can fix this. It's easy. Trust me. Those words hit us right in the survival instinct. We don't want to hear "it depends." We don't want nuance. We want clarity, even if it's fake. That's why people with black and white answers always rise faster than those who admit the world is gray. Real experts talk about trade-offs, probabilities, and complex systems. But complexity doesn't go viral. Simplicity does. The louder and simpler the message, the more it spreads, especially when it gives people someone to blame or something to believe in. You see it everywhere. A politician says, "We'll fix everything in 6 months," and people cheer. A business guru claims, "This one trick will make you rich," and people click. History is full of leaders who rose to power by saying exactly what people wanted to hear. When the economy crashed, or when fear spread, they didn't offer complex solutions. They offered enemies, easy fixes, and slogans. Trust me, I alone can fix this. People didn't follow logic, they followed confidence. Even in everyday life, when a coworker oversimplifies a messy situation with total confidence, the room nods along because it feels easier than facing reality. It's not logic, it's comfort. Our brains are wired to hate uncertainty. The moment we feel anxious or threatened, we cling to anyone who sounds sure. That's why in times of crisis, the reasonable voice, the one that says, "This will take time, it's complicated," gets drowned out. The crowd doesn't want the truth. They want relief. And that's the Machiavellian twist. Power doesn't just corrupt the people who have it. It exploits the people who want to believe. The more chaotic the world becomes, the more people crave simplicity. And that's exactly when the wrong leaders rise. The ones who tell us not what's true, but what we want to hear. So when someone stands up and says, "It's simple, I have the answer," remember, real solutions are rarely simple, and simple answers are rarely real. The next time a leader's confidence makes you feel safe, stop and ask yourself, are they solving the problem or selling the illusion of certainty? Because that illusion has built empires, destroyed nations, and convinced millions to follow the wrong people, again and again. Morality is a weakness in the game of power. Morality is beautiful in theory, but in the game of power, it's often a handicap. The truth is harsh. Good people tend to lose, not because they're weak, but because they still believe the game has rules. It doesn't. The ones who rise fastest are the ones willing to do what others won't. Bend the truth, cross lines, break promises, and smile while doing it. Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago. A ruler must learn how not to be good. He didn't say it because he liked cruelty. He said it because he understood reality. The people willing to get their hands dirty usually end up holding the crown. They lie when others hesitate. They manipulate when others play fair. And they weaponize morality itself, pretending to be righteous while using ethics as camouflage. Corporate history is full of cases where unethical choices brought short-term success. The Enron executives once appeared on magazine covers as business icons, until investigations exposed the truth. Bernie Madoff's investment empire was once trusted by thousands before it collapsed as one of the largest financial frauds in history. These aren't just scandals. They're reminders of how easily charm, confidence, and short-term wins can disguise systemic deceit. People don't reward integrity until the illusion fails. You see it in politics, in business, even in everyday life. The boss who takes credit for other people's work. The coworker who plays the victim after stabbing someone in the back. The influencer who preaches integrity while faking every story online. The pattern is the same. The rules don't apply to them because they know everyone else is still trying to play fair. And once those people win, the rest are forced to adapt. That's how corruption spreads. It's not that everyone suddenly turns bad. It's that no one wants to be the only one losing by being decent. It becomes a race to the bottom, where bending the rules feels like survival. The system rewards those who cheat and punishes those who hesitate. What makes it worse is that charm often hides cruelty. Studies have shown that people with narcissistic or even psychopathic traits can rise faster in leadership roles, especially if they're socially smooth. They know how to read a room, mirror emotion, and say exactly what others want to hear. That fake charisma becomes their armor, and when they finally fall, it's never because of guilt. It's because the illusion stops working. Power built on deception always collapses eventually, but not before it breaks everything around it. So here's the uncomfortable truth. In a world that rewards appearance over substance, morality isn't just ignored, it's weaponized. And if you don't learn to recognize that, you'll keep mistaking manipulation for leadership and empathy for weakness. Because in the real world, the line between good and smart isn't where you think it is, and the people who cross it first usually win. The hidden environment that breeds incompetent leaders. Every broken system has the same hidden flaw. It's designed to reward the wrong people. Mediocre leaders don't just appear out of nowhere. They're products of an environment built to protect them. When a system stops rewarding truth and starts rewarding appearance, incompetence doesn't just survive, it multiplies. Think about it. In a job where results are hard to measure, anyone can fake it. If success is defined by how things look instead of how they work, you don't need to be good. You just need to look busy, talk smooth, and avoid getting blamed. That's why the surgeon who makes mistakes gets fired, but the executive who ruins a company keeps their bonus. It's not about performance, it's about perception. Systems without clear accountability are playgrounds for incompetence. When feedback is delayed or filtered, mistakes get buried under excuses. In politics, failures can always be blamed on the last guy. In corporations, losses can be spun as strategic repositioning. In schools, poor results become a growth opportunity. It's a language of survival that hides failure and protects egos. And when power gets too centralized, it gets worse. A single decision maker surrounded by yes men creates an echo chamber where bad ideas sound brilliant. Without checks and balances, the foolish not only rise, they become untouchable. That's how massive scandals and corporate collapses happen. Not because nobody saw the danger, but because nobody was allowed to say it out loud. Then there's the obsession with short-term wins. When people are rewarded for next quarter's numbers instead of long-term stability, they start chasing illusions. They cut corners, manipulate data, and do whatever keeps them looking successful in the moment. Long-term damage becomes someone else's problem. Machiavelli understood this before modern bureaucracy even existed. When the system values image over outcome, it breeds leaders who master performance, not competence. They survive by managing perception instead of reality. So if you've ever wondered why your office, your company, or even your country seems to reward the wrong people, the answer is simple. It's not broken by accident. It was built to favor those who can play the game, not those who can fix it. Because in a world where results can be faked, pretending well enough is success. The modern Machiavellian tactics of the incompetent bad leaders don't stay in power by accident. They know exactly what they're doing. They may be incompetent at their jobs, but they're experts at manipulation. They build power the same way a magician builds an illusion. Distract the audience, divide the critics, and make sure no one ever looks behind the curtain. Their first trick is division. You can see this tactic online every day. When a public figure or leader faces criticism, they often shift attention by sparking outrage. A single tweet, a dramatic statement, a controversy, it floods the news cycle and divides people into sides. In today's world, the algorithm rewards outrage more than truth. The modern battlefield isn't the office or the parliament, it's the feed. And every angry share or emotional comment becomes fuel for the people who know how to play it. They split people into sides, us versus them, loyal versus enemy. Suddenly, disagreeing with the boss isn't just disagreement, it's betrayal. They turn criticism into proof of disloyalty, forcing people to choose between silence or exile. This kind of tribal loyalty doesn't need truth. It only needs emotion, and emotion always beats logic in a crowd. Then comes chaos. They flood the system with noise, constant drama, constant crises, constant confusion, so that people stop trying to make sense of anything. When everything feels like an emergency, no one has time to fact-check. It's a strategy straight out of the chaos playbook. Overwhelm the brain until exhaustion feels like loyalty. And when people finally start questioning things, these leaders use contradiction as a weapon. They'll say one thing today and deny it tomorrow, without missing a beat. The goal isn't to make sense, it's to make truth feel irrelevant. When no one can tell what's real anymore, the only thing that matters is who looks confident enough to lead. They also know the power of fear. People worried about their jobs, bills, or future are easier to control. Promise them security, give them a target to blame, and they'll follow almost anyone who sounds like they can make the pain stop. It's not genius, it's psychology, and it works frighteningly well. If you've ever found yourself scrolling through endless outrage online, wondering why every headline feels like a fight, that's part of it. Chaos and division aren't side effects. They're the point. Because when everyone's angry, scared, and confused, no one has the energy left to resist. Machiavelli understood this long before social media existed. Confusion is control, fear is loyalty, and truth is optional. The most dangerous leaders aren't the ones who believe their own lies. They're the ones who know exactly how to use yours against you. How to break this vicious cycle? If stupidity can rise, then intelligence can fight back, but not by playing the same game. You don't beat manipulation with more manipulation. You beat it by refusing to be controlled by it. The first step is awareness. Once you see how power really works, how people use confidence, chaos, and fear to dominate, you can't unsee it. Awareness turns you from a pawn into a player. That starts inside your own head. Learn intellectual humility, the ability to admit you might be wrong. It's not weakness, it's a weapon. When you know what you don't know, you stop being easy to fool. Smart people get tricked, not because they're dumb, but because they think they're immune to manipulation. The moment you believe you're too smart to be deceived, you already are. Next comes information discipline. The internet rewards outrage and distraction. Wisdom rewards silence and focus. Stop chasing noise. Most of what's loud is worthless. Choose what you feed your brain. The less junk you consume, the clearer you think. When you learn to pause before reacting, to question before sharing, you become the kind of person manipulators can't control. And finally, reflection. Every day, ask yourself, what's real and what's performance? Most people never stop to think about the world they're part of. They scroll, react, rage, repeat. But if you step back, even for a few minutes, you start to see patterns others can't. That distance gives you power. But awareness alone isn't enough. We need systems that punish lies, reward honesty, and value competence over charisma. Accountability isn't a buzzword. It's the difference between survival and collapse. Diverse voices keep leaders honest. Transparency keeps truth alive. Education, not just job training, but real critical thinking, teaches people how to recognize manipulation before it spreads. Machiavelli would have loved this irony. The very flaws that let fools rise can also be the cracks where light gets in. When people think critically, demand evidence, and value truth over comfort, the entire game changes. You don't need to burn everything down to destroy corruption. Just keep the lights on long enough, and the darkness starts to fade by itself. Awareness is contagious. Once people see how the trick works, the illusion dies. And that's how real power begins. Not by outsmarting everyone else, but by refusing to be fooled. Machiavelli never wrote to glorify cruelty. He wrote to expose it. He wanted people to stop being naive about how the world really works. Power doesn't reward goodness. It rewards understanding. And once you understand the game, you stop being a victim of it. The smartest thing you can do isn't to become ruthless. It's to stop expecting fairness from a system built on manipulation. Because once you see how it operates, you can choose how to move through it, without losing yourself in the process. He said, "It's not the titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." That line cuts through time like a knife. Power means nothing without character. A crown on a fool is still a fool. A title on a coward is still a coward. What matters is how you use power when you finally have it, whether you use it to control people or to enlighten them. The world will always have narcissists, liars, and opportunists. They'll rise fast, talk loud, and look unstoppable. But here's the twist. They only win when people stop thinking. They feed on apathy. Every time you choose comfort over truth, they get stronger. Every time you let a lie slide because it's easier, they stay in power. But the moment you wake up, the illusion cracks. So maybe the goal isn't to destroy every corrupt leader or burn every system down. Maybe it's to build something stronger around them. Communities that value truth over noise. Leaders who earn respect instead of demanding it. And individuals who see through the performance. That's how real change happens. Not overnight, but thought by thought. Choice by choice. Understanding the darkness doesn't make you part of it. It makes you dangerous to it. Once you learn how manipulation works, it loses its grip on you. That's what Machiavelli wanted. Not blind cynicism, but clear eyes. If this message hits you, share it. Leave your thoughts below. Tell me about the moment you realized confidence doesn't equal competence. And if you want more videos that cut through the noise and expose how power really works, hit subscribe to Gaka Mindset. Because the more you understand the game, the less it can play you.